Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It's very humbling to be here on behalf of the Syrian people. The Syrian people who started a revolution that became the most important revolution in recent history. Why? Because it stood against a regime that controlled a country for 50 years under the most brutal dictatorship. It is a regime that you need to understand by watching a film that has been produced and aired on French TV a few days ago. It's called الصرخة المكبوتة, The Strangled Cry. This film showed for 60 minutes ladies, sisters, who most of them refused to show their faces. Only 2 of them were courageous enough to show their faces because they spoke about what they have witnessed themselves while in Assad prisons. They experienced the most horrific experience that a woman can experience, being exposed and raped by tens of men only because at one point she went to participate in a peaceful demonstration. This film is enough to start a revolution, but Syrians had many other reasons to start this revolution. Did the Syrian revolution succeed? Yes, it succeeded. It defeated this regime who owned 5,000 tanks when this revolution started. An army that was supposed to be one of the strongest armies in the area was defeated in the first few months by peaceful demonstrators and few truthful soldiers who joined them. It's then when Hezbollah, the dirty arm of Iran, one of the most dirtiest regimes on this time, who is using extremist ideology and trying to destroy the Muslim world, putting its hand in Lebanon, in Iraq, in Syria, in Yemen. When Hezbollah joined the Assad regime, it was also defeated. It was then that the Iranian guards came into Syria. When militias came from Afghanistan, extremist Shiite militias came from all over the world, from Iraq, Afghanistan, to defeat and fight the Syrian people. And still the Syrian people were victorious with very few friends. And that's when the Russian army, the second strongest army in the world, came with all its might. When airplanes started bombarding cities that are as old as cities can be, destroyed half of the city of Aleppo. Now, as we speak, 400,000 people, including women and children, are starving, and they cannot leave the city to get medical help. Sahar is a girl who was living in Al-Ghouta, few miles from the oldest capital that is still inhabited on earth, Damascus. Sahar was playing to the Red Cross and Red Crescent to leave Ghouta to get medical care. For months, the Free Syrian Army negotiated with the whole world watching so Sahar can leave and get treatment. And only a few days ago, when the deal was struck and the Red Cross and Red Crescent went into Ghouta, it was few days too late and Sahar was dead because she couldn't leave. We are witnessing today not only genocide, we are witnessing a crime against humanity in a country that was always influential, that was always in a very good condition until 50 years ago this brutal regime was installed. With this brutal regime was installed to oppress one of the most influential countries on earth that has the deepest history, where a lot of Sahaba were buried. And now, after 7 years, in March, it will be 7 years that the Syrian people are still holding on. Even when they tried to accept a political solution, the world is now trying to reinstate the Assad regime by pressuring the Syrian people in every way possible they can. We have seen the defeat of ISIS on the hands of the Syrian revolution and the help of the only true ally to the Syrian people, the God bless them country of Turkey. We have seen ISIS defeated. Now, in north of Aleppo, there is a free zone that the Syrian people have been calling for years. And only with the help of Turkey that ISIS was defeated, and there is a small area called the Euphrates Shield area where people are living in peace and trying to practice their freedom. But still, many areas of Syria are under the worst conditions. The fight on terrorism, unfortunately, cannot be in a more false form than the way it was practiced in Syria. Our government, as a US citizen, I have to say, our government disappointed us time and again. Obama put a red line and Assad crossed it, and nothing happened. Trump said that this guy is an animal and he has to leave, but only lip service. And when they gave support to the so-called democratic forces of Syria, which is influenced by a Kurdish separatist militia linked to a terrorist organization called PKK, instead of cooperating with an ally such as Turkey. We, as American citizens, have a responsibility to pressure our government to do the right thing in Syria, because it is the most powerful country on earth. And because it has, in our constitution, we're supposed to stand for democracy, freedom, and dignity. And the Syrian people, just like every human on earth, deserve that. I ask you all to do what you can to help your brothers and sisters in Syria and pray for them. May Allah bless you all. Thank you. Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.